we are Today we are going to talk about HCM core concepts and basic navigation. So before I start telling you about the concepts, I would say you like you use any other system or any other website. It's quite easy and it's pretty much self-explanatory to understand that how Workday HCM options work. So in today's session agenda, so we are going to take a brief overview of the navigation and how to actually use different options of Workday HCM. We'll be understanding what is the business objects and how different business objects in Workday are interconnected with each other and how these objects actually impacts different functionalities. Then we are going to take a look of basic navigations option and the landing pages. So we'll start with supervisory organization. Supervisory organization is a very, I would say, the foundation of Workday, because everything that we are setting up in Workday, the rules, the processes, basically the setup of organization is very important. So as it is written here, this is the foundation of Workday. So this is the type of organization workers into a management hierarchy. So simply you can say that supervisory organizations are the primary foundation of Workday, and supervisory organization actually shows who reports to whom. So employee belong to a supervisory organization overseen by their manager. So a manager in Workday is anyone who supervises one or more people, and the manager is, you can say, has a control on a particular supervisory organization. So let's say there is a team of, let's say there is an HR team or there is a finance team. So there are 4 people and there will be one manager, for example. So let's say finance team for South region. So that's one supervisory, and person A is the manager of that supervisory organization. We'll also understand this once we actually take the look of Workday, and when we learn about the navigation options, then I'll also explain more about supervisory organization. We are also going to understand the staffing models. And so there are 2 types of staffing models in Workday. And we are going to learn and what's the difference between these 2 models. Difference is about how different job openings and positions are created and filled in that particular supervisory organization. So we are going to talk about that, and then we are going to see the different job profiles. So there are some specific characteristic or features in every job, and how that is built, how that profile has an impact on different things. So we are going to understand that as well. Then we are also going to learn about compensation. What compensation is. So there are different elements that are clubbed in the compensation concept. So for example, there is a specific compensation plan associated with certain job types, for example, and or maybe based on seniority, or maybe based on a particular location where an individual is working. So based on that, these compensation elements actually differ. So we can set it up in the Workday environment. Then there is a security group. There's a security element of it. So that's a very powerful feature of Workday. And we can actually define different security groups. We can allocate different roles or different people in security, and these security permissions are can also be actually applied on different business objects. So we are going to also check that. And then uh, business process. So we are also going to talk about business process. What is business process? So business process is a combination of multiple tasks, and as the name indicates, there is some process running behind, and in any process there are multiple people involved, and they have different you can say they have different actions to take during that process. So you can say we can call it a workflow. So for example, and I am working in an organization. There is a manager, and it's a defined policy of my organization, and that's actually common in every organization. So if I am planning to take off, for example, so there is a process defined that I have to take approval before planning my day off, and the approving authority will be my manager. So this is a process. So what will happen in the process? So I am the employee, for example. I need to avail a leave, a day off. I'll initiate that request. So that's initiating the request is one step of the process. And then once I initiate that request, that will go to my manager, and my manager is the approving authority. So this is a business process. Of course, that's a very simple example that I have explained, but there can be multiple level approval in other process that other than time off, or maybe something which is very simple. So, and in those processes there are sometimes multiple level approvals involved, and then when that whole process is complete, then it sometimes comes to, for example, HR partner, and that HR partner actually has to, uh, for example, just close that, mark that process as closed. So business process, as I mentioned, it is a sequence, is a combination of one or more tasks, and we also we can define that in Workday, depending on particular organization structure. Even in a particular organization, maybe there are different processes being followed in different departments. So we can basically formulate that those business processes and connect them to that specific department or specific people in a particular structure. So talking about business object, I would say it's a very important concept to understand. So we can simply say that everything in Workday is actually stored as a business object. So, for example, organizations, it's an example of business object. Workers, it's an example of business object. Position, it is also an example of business objects, and we are going to see why what impact these objects have on one another, and how this will actually impact different functionalities in Workday environment. So you see, worker is one object. Uh, each and every worker, which is like each and every worker in a particular organization, that worker will have a certain position in that organization. So, for example, someone is an accountant, let's say, uh, that worker would belong to some security groups in Workday. And by security group, I mean the access. So that worker will have certain access level defined in Workday. What he or she can actually what he or she can access in the Workday environment. Um, it can be different from any other worker in the organization. That worker will have certain number of absences allowed. So for example, let's say um I'm a junior level staff. I have, let's say, for example, let's say 10 uh, 10 time offs or absences available as part of a standard policy. There might be a senior level worker, there might be a senior level staff, maybe a senior management staff, and as part of company's policy, that worker might have like some special vacation plan part of their absence numbers. So again, I'm also a worker, that senior management person is also a worker, but these things can actually vary. So worker term is used generally in Workday environment for everybody. Like no matter which level you are at, whether you are a permanent worker, whether you are a full-time worker, or whether you are a contractor. So if we are referring it as worker, it will include all kind of people, all kind of people working in that particular organization, or which or the people who are part of that specific environment. But their address can be different, their compensation level can be different, even their different elements, different benefits can be aligned to different workers. They may hold a different position, may hold different roles in that position, can have a kind of job profile. Again, classification could be different, management level could be different. Maybe two people having same position, but they might be working on a different management level. And based on that management level, uh, their different things can vary. There maybe their access can vary, maybe their benefits can vary, maybe their location can vary. So this is how these different objects are linked to each other. They are related to each other, and we can perform different functions in the environment by actually calling different objects within the Workday environment. So moving on to next about the navigation option. So we are going to spend a little bit uh, more time and take a look of uh, different navigation options in Workday. So how the home page looks like, how we can search different things and like different options in Workday, um, how we can identify different options through icons, what's Workday profile if you want to take a look of any worker's profile. There is a Workday inbox, there is notification, there are different documents available. So we are quickly going to take a look of that. So let me open the tenant. So the screen that you can see currently now, that's how Workday like Workday main page looks like. So this is a Workday button. So that's like any other website that we usually use. There is a home button. So that's this Workday sign is actually a home button. And if I click on this button, it will actually get you to this main page. Then there is a search option. So you can anything if you want to search any specific worker's profile, you want to search any option, you can simply type here and it will actually show you all possible results. Just the same way we use, for example, let's say Google search. So similarly, this Workday search will actually help you to find that information based on the keyword that you are putting it here. We are going to take a look of it in more detail, and we'll see some examples as well how we can search different things. So this is the announcement section. This is customizable. Companies can actually customize this based on their like how they would like to show this announcement sections to different people. This can also be customized again based on which users should see what. Then this is a snapshot of Workday inbox. Just the same way we have our inbox for our Gmail, for example, or for Hotmail or any other mail, there is an inbox in which all our messages are landed. Similarly, this is Workday inbox in which all our messages are landed. And by messages, I mean uh, there are different processes that this user is part of. So that's why I'll be able to see all these messages in the Workday inbox. Then this is my main dashboard, and there are different applications added on my dashboard. To understand the concept of this, um, so for example, you have your smartphone, your mobile phone, and there are different icons on the main screen of your mobile phone. So you have an option that you want to move any icon on your main screen or home screen, or you want that icon not to be uh, like available on main screen. That's a shortcut that we have. So similarly, these are the shortcuts that we have of different applications. Then over here, if we see, that's a quick access button. That's Workday Assistant. This is a notification button, so we get different notifications over here. This is inbox, Workday inbox. So I have clicked on notifications. So these are the different notifications that this users has received. And that's based on the different processes that are running, and this user is actually part of those processes somehow. So this user is being notified for all those processes, and then this is the inbox. So this is the main Workday page. So this is Workday inbox where different messages are landing. So I can actually see different processes that are completed or that are processed, and I'm part. All of these messages are landing here, and this is showing when this specific process was done. So I can see that this was done, for example, 54 minutes ago, and this is already acted upon. So it actually shows the messages or the actions that I have already performed in last 30 days. So this is the basic basic overview of how we can actually navigate through different options. So now let's take a little bit more detailed look. So for example, this setting button, I hope like it's a very common icon that we also see in our mobile phones as well. So you can actually, using this settings icon, we can actually configure this main dashboard. So for example, let's say if I want to add or remove a particular program or particular application from my main Workday dashboard, so I can do that by going here. The purpose again of having these icons over here is to access different applications quickly. I know that there are particular applications that I use more frequently, and I want those applications to be ready to do that. So for example, I want to add any specific application. I'll click this add button. If I know the name, so for example, I want to uh, check if there is any absence related. So let's say I want to select this absence option. And for example, this is, uh, let's say, people management matrix. I don't want it. So I can simply remove it. Or let's say I want this employee policies application to be at the top. So I can actually um, change the order of this, and I can bring it to the top, because that's more important for me, and that's something I use more frequently, and I want it to be at the top, or in at least in the top row. So I did that, and now I check that, okay, so absence is already available, maybe I can just remove it from here, and I'll click OK. So now over here I can actually see the employee policies icon over here. We can configure our main dashboard. If we want to keep any particular application over here, so I can do that, and from here I can actually access that specific application quite easily. Again, the purpose is that that's easily available. Of course, uh, this is just a testing environment, so these are pre-configured, and there might be some applications that might not be showing generally any information, but uh, we can actually set it up according to our own choice, and we can like uh, further check different options within that application. So for example, if we have opened learning admin, so over here we can see the status of like how many what's the count of course completion. So we can see that 69 is the count, and we can see further details over here. So for example, these are the people. 31 people are currently in progress. 33 people have already completed it, and 5 have not yet started. So 69 people have been part of this overall learning uh, like learning portal. And why I can see it, because I have I have an access to learning admin portal. So I can also see different campaigns of the dashboard. If I want to see for example, learners engagement by location, so I can also see that. So there are different options. Again, it all depends how I have actually configured these different reports and dashboards. Now let's take a little bit look of search options of Workday. So the best part is that even if somebody is coming from non-HR or non-tech background, you can you can still learn the system very quickly if you know the different tips and tricks. So for example, I know, let's try and find out. I want to search a specific worker, a specific worker's information. So let's say, um, so I have just typed Michael, and you see there are multiple people with the same name, because I have not described the second name of that person, not entered the second name of that person. So it has started showing me different people having the same first name. So now if I know that whom I want to take a look of, so let's say I want to take a look of, let's say, Michael Wilson. And before I click on that, I just want to mention one thing here, that you see that these two people, you see uh, a letter C over here. So in Workday environment, this actually indicates that this particular individual is a contractor. So these two people are contractual employees. We'll also take a look how these two people looks different. So let's say we open this one. Let's open this one. So you see, Michael, this is the designation that has been like the business title that has been given to a particular employee. So this Michael has been given a buyer business title. So this is a unique employee ID. And that's used for identification purpose. This person is actually currently located at Boston. This is the manager's name, and these are all the details. So for example, since when this person has been on service, so it's 8 years, 9 months, 22 days. And we are not calculating this, system is actually calculating this. What we have done, we have actually entered the hire date. So there are different locations created. So he belongs to Boston. He's a full-time employee. There is a management level defined, so he is an individual contributor. He belongs to a specific job family, which comes under finance, and then FA purchasing. The purpose of job family is actually to club different jobs. So uh, his job family name is finance, then FA purchasing. So this is it's quite simple. This is how we can search different options in Workday. We are going to touch on all these options more in future, but in today's session I'm going to cover mostly the generic details. And then we have, for example, let's say, because we were talking about business process. So let's go here. So over here we were actually talking about business process. So let's say if in the system I want to take a look of any business process, that how that particular business process is designed. So the trick to search business process is that B is for business, P is for process. I'm going to put a colon here, and let's say I am searching uh, time off. Let's try that, a time of business process. So when I mention BP, it will actually filter the search. So if I would only type time off, then it's going to show me a lot of results, and we'll also check that. So BP time off, it means all, as you can see here, that all these are business processes, and you will find time off keyword available in all of these, either off or business or something, or at the back if there is somehow link of time off, so it has actually displayed all the results. And let's say if I don't enter the BP keyword, then I'll just type time off. So you see it's showing me everything that has time off keyword in it. So you see, this is just a tip that we can actually filter or specify our search. So if I am searching for business process, then I am going to use the word BP and colon, and then I'll mention the name of that business process if I don't know. But since time off is something quite common, so I just tried it, and we were able to see that how many business processes are already available in the environment. Let's say if I want to take a look of hiring business process, so you see BP is the same, and I put the hiring word, and it has shown all the hiring processes that are currently available in the system. And this word is actually telling you that this is business process. And if I am going to again remove the BP thing, then it will show me whether it's a report, whether it's something else. So it will actually show me that. So coming back to our discussion, so I have actually explained you Workday inbox, navigations. So by the way, if we go to our main page, so these are you can say worklets. We can actually add reports over here. So this is what you call worklets. The worklets, we can add those worklets over here. These are the worklets that we are adding. So that's the concept of worklets. Even if we are let's say designing any report and we want that report to be available here, we can add over here. So that's the concept of worklet and landing page. So we have already talked about it. So going a little more of that. So let's say if I want to check, for example, let's take an example of uh, a message that is landed in my inbox, and I want to, for example, um, check that which message I have received in my inbox and if I what I am supposed to do. So for example, let's say, so a person has so there are different people that has been hired. So hire process has been executed, and since this user is a master user, so this user is actually getting uh, like the notification and get there are certain actions that this user has to perform. So let's take a simple one. So for example, so for example um, there was a supervisory organization, and role has been assigned to this particular user, Logan McNeil. So you see this user has been assigned a hierarchy owner role, and that's why a message has been received in the inbox. So like this is just an example of a message that is received for a particular user, or maybe there is a hiring process run by a particular user, or maybe there someone is, for because this user has a master access and is an HR partner, that's why she's getting intimation of all of these processes. Going back to that thing, so we talked about supervisory organization. So you see Michael is also a worker. His job title is business analyst. He's a consultant. So I mentioned that anybody having this C at the end of the name indicating that he or she is a contractor. So he's a consultant. Uh,
Timothy is his manager and he belongs to a certain supervisory. So that supervisory organization. So, and the head of the supervisory organization would be his manager. So Timothy will be the manager of this supervisory organization. So if, for example, let's say if Michael is going to raise, for example, a time of request, it will go to Timothy because he is the manager of Michael. And Michael, so Timothy is the manager and Michael is his employee. And that's basically the concept of supervisory organization that we talked about. So he's the manager, he's the head of supervisory organization, he's the manager of supervisory organization. His business title is manager IT operations, and he is managing all these people. So, and he is based in Dallas, but some of his team members are based in other countries or other locations. So, for example, this lady is from London, Calgary, Dallas, San Francisco. So it doesn't matter, but all these people are actually reporting to this particular manager. So they all belong to one supervisory and he is the supervisory manager. So supervisory organization is actually, you can say, is like a department. So there will be one manager of that department and there will be different people working in that particular department.